Welcome to this week's episode of Finding the One. Last week we were talking about our gene keys and these huge discoveries we were finding of like how we're so different but so perfectly different for each other. And this week's episode is going to be all about how when two people together, it's I have my energy, Danny has his energy, but the relationship in itself has its own energy. And this came about actually as a consequence of this gene keys discussion, right? Where we realized, wow, like I'm a unique individual with my own unique individual energy. You're the same. And then I started to realize, oh my God, that means just almost like in a nerdy way, mathematically, if like I have a formula and you have a formula, well, when you add both those formulas together, it makes a whole other formula. And that's really what we want to dive in today. It's the third entity. The third entity. I'm an entity, you're an entity, and our relationship in itself is a third entity. And what we both discovered is we're really good and diligent about doing our own work. I do my work, you do your work, like we grow, we heal. But it almost felt like this third entity had been slightly neglected. Like the work of the third entity had been kind of like, well, it will just be fine. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I want to mention before we start is, you know, this thing called the work. We've been exposed more and more to the fact that there's a lot of like spiritual people that are like really fucked up in life. I mean, like really fucked up.
What you mean people doing like teaching?
Yeah. And on another level, a lot of these people that are teaching others, like when you really get to know them in their life, it's like pobrecitos.
Well, you know, it's the classic example. It's the therapist, it's the doctor, it's the coach.
Yeah.
Often people become those roles from a space of not like I've really just want to share from like an extension of who I am as a person, but rather I'm going to deflect from actually looking at my own shit by helping you.
That's right.
It's a slight like martyrdom savior complex that we tend to see is like, if I can just focus on helping you, that feels much easier than doing my own inner work.
Well, on a deeper level, it's a form of avoidance.
Right.
It's the ego wants to avoid, and the best way to avoid is to keep you in a position of power where you feel like you have all the answers, but in your relationship, like there's imbalance. You're constantly afraid. You're constantly trying to control everything. And as a result, like what we're discovering, and this is why we have very few friends, is that 90% of the people that say that they do the work, I don't think have even started to like do the work. Because what is the work and what is the outcome of the work? It's peace, it's love, it's freedom, it's living a life without any fear.
It's living a heart-centered life.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And so what I would say first and foremost is that like, I just feel really honored to know, and I'm not saying that I know, you might receive this the wrong way. I don't know. Hopefully you can feel the authenticity of this, but hopefully you could see and feel a difference from like the first season version of us to like this version of us. It's way different. I feel it, right? And that's a testimony to the fact that we are like actually doing the work. Like we are actually going deep into the unraveling of anything that is keeping us in fear consciousness and allowing ourselves to step into love, joy, peace, and abundance. And I think it's important for us to start there, because until you really step into love, joy, peace, and abundance, as a matter of fact, an activity for you to do would be to ask yourself, where in your life, in your finances, your relationships, in your motherhood or fatherhood, where in your life are you not in a state of peace, love, joy, and abundance? Because that could be the doorway. When you're honest, that could be the doorway for you to enter into that, and like go into it and start to ask yourself, like, why and what's holding you back. You're smirking. Why are you smirking?
I love you. I love it when you go into teaching mode. It's like you just channel it through.
Did I just go into teaching mode?
Yeah.
I didn't. I know it's because, baby, I genuinely want people to understand.
No, I'm not saying anything's wrong with it.
No.
I
just have a passion for this.
I know.
I have a passion for this, like seeing you as a mother. You are, and just to be clear, I'm not comparing, but I've been around a lot of mothers. I've been around grandmothers. I've been around my own mother. You are literally the greatest mother I have ever been around. I say that from the bottom of my heart, like the way you just love, and the way that Selena just gets to be her authentic self, the way that you do not in any way, shape, or form project any fear consciousness or any of your bullshit onto her, and who that is allowing her to become, it's just beautiful to watch. It really is, you know? And so, like, I have a passion for this, because, like, when we could be our authentic selves, what does that do for the future of humanity? What does that do for our children? Because let's just face it, that's what we're all here trying to heal and fix, is all the shit that happened from our parents. All the ways in which we didn't feel safe to be our authentic self with our mom and dad. Yeah. That's ultimately the work. Yeah. And how that shows up in our relationships, and how that shows up in our finances, and even in our health. Right. And so I just have a deep passion for this. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're able to show up as your authentic self, and I'm able to show up as my authentic self, and you bring those two things together, it makes this, like, what I'm experiencing now with you, honestly, probably, like, I've had glimpses of it when we first met, but now more than ever, like, I'm experiencing this, like, other thing. Like, our energies coming together is so powerful when it's in its authentic truth. It's creating this, like, other extremely magnetic energy that's a consequence of both of our energies coming together.
Yeah. And I want to say something, because what you just said opened something up for me. You said, I experienced it when we first met. And I just want to be vulnerable here and honest, because it's the only way that truth can ever exist. But what you experienced when we first met was desire from an unhealed part of me that needed you to select me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you felt that passion, that fire, that I would stop at nothing. Yeah. So, like, on one end, when we share that part of our story, people are like, oh my God, like, he was willing to do whatever. And oh my God. But this is where a lot of people get all hooked up in relationships, and they end up being swept away in someone that 3 years later is going to end up, like, dropping you.
Mm-hmm.
It is because that energy of first meeting you and desiring each other, that is not love.
And from my side, I'm so happy you brought this up. And from my side, it was a pattern of mine. I needed the person that I chose to be with to be obsessed with me.
Why?
It was a pattern. Every single partner I've ever been with had to be obsessed with me first.
Right. But why?
And why? Because I needed that attention. Like, I have a wound around like needing undivided, intense attention because I didn't receive that as a little girl.
That's right. That's right. When you look at the energy that attracted you and your partner, the reason why most people break up, the reason why most people split, the most reason why most people don't have sex, the reason why most people don't have connection and passion is because the relationship is still stuck in the energy that first attracted them, and you're trying to get back there. Newsflash, you ain't never gonna get back there. Your relationship is about transcending that energy. It's about getting past the passion, the butterflies, the chasing, the desire. It's about going into the depths of your heart and soul together. And that is what you're afraid of. And that is what you avoid. And that is why your relationship is stuck the way that it is.
Well, it's so interesting because something I've been experiencing recently, and I feel like us opening our hearts is a conversation for another episode maybe, but what I've been experiencing recently is like everything is so good between Danny and I right now, and I feel my little girl like, oh my God, like I'm actually getting what I desire, like I'm getting the attention and like the love that I actually desire. Oh no, like what if it goes away? Now I need to like claw onto the energy. And I literally feel this like craving energy from my little girl. Because when I was a little girl, when I got it, I was so excited that I was getting the attention that I was like, I better make the most of it and like get really hyper and really excited and like really needy. And then it would go away. And then I'd be like, oh no, like I need more of that. I need more of that. And it's been so interesting to witness like my woman hold the little girl in that of like, oh, like I see you. I know why you feel like this need to crave, but like that doesn't magnetize more of what you actually want. So let me hold you and understand like your craving and take a deep breath and like come back into the woman controlling the situation. And then I'm like, okay, like it's not going away, Jen, little Jen, it's not going away.
Yeah.
It's still here. And, you know, if it were to go away externally, I can give it to you. Everything is fine.
Right.
And then the little girl's like, and the woman comes back online.
That's right.
And it's been so powerful because I genuinely no longer need Danny to be obsessed with me.
Yeah.
How liberating that something outside of me I'm not dependent on.
That's right. That's right. And you see, what a lot of people don't realize is that what you just described is the perfect balance of your masculine holding space for your feminine to feel safe and come online, irregardless of if you have a partner or not. Mm-hmm. And this is the deeper truth, is that you will never find real love until you find it within yourself, until you're able to hold yourself in it.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't need anyone to be obsessed with me because I'm obsessed with me.
Yes.
And that's the truth. I said to my friend at the park yesterday, I was like, I'm actually experiencing for the first time, like self-love, but not this like run myself a bar, say affirmations in the mirror kind of self-love. Like I actually fucking love myself.
Right.
Like I rate myself so highly. Like I see myself for the first time ever in my life. So like I really am not needing anything outside of me. Anything else is like a desire and an added bonus. Like it feels great. But this is the trickery of the whole thing. When I'm in that space, when I'm in that energetic myself, I just naturally magnetize more of that.
That's right.
When I'm in lack and desperation and despair and needing, I just attract more lack, desperation, despair, and needing.
That's right.
And that's the most ironic, twisted fucking part of life is like, really, there's no escaping getting there on your own. There is no escaping.
We're on another tangent right now, but we're going to get back to the third entity in a second. because it's really important that you understand that the only way that your third entity is beautiful is if you feel beautiful within yourself, right? And so the trickery of it all, and where I see, and I can only speak to previous relationships, and I can only speak to like what we see in the people that we help, right? The trickery of it all is that people stay stuck in the previous energy that started the relationship. And I'm talking people stay there 20, 30 years. They don't ever transcend, right? So what started to happen, what caused a lot of our friction, is that we kept wanting it to go back to the way that it was. But we were both as individuals growing past the version of us that first met, which meant it was literally impossible for us to go back to the way it was. And for me as a man, that caused so much confusion in me, because the level in which I grew within my heart and soul wasn't matching the level in which our relationship entity was allowed to grow into. Why? Because I was scared. Because I was scared. Because I was let down as a little boy. Because I didn't receive the love as a little boy. So as a result, my mind did what my mind does. Men and ladies with men, make your men listen to this. This is really important. Okay. My mind tried to find a way out. How did my mind try to find a way out? By picking you apart and making something wrong with you. Here's the problem. Ain't nothing wrong with her. Ain't nothing wrong with her. That's the problem, right?
Yeah. You know what's so powerful as well? The moment you stopped doing that was the moment that I realized that nothing is wrong with me.
Yes, because it's all energy, guys.
It's like me feeling like I'm the shit.
That's right.
Meant that Danny had no energetic holes to pick into there's something wrong with you.
That's right.
When there was still holes of me thinking there was something wrong with me.
I felt that.
Well, you had the space to do what you do.
That's right.
Did.
That's right.
Which is pick apart.
That's right.
When there's no more space to pick apart, it's like, nah, dude, I'm solid. Like, if you think there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with you.
Right? And I'm so glad we're talking about this, because when you're in wounded energy, and admittedly, this is 6 years of work in my life, right? But when you're in wounded energy, what happens is you will always find a way to protect yourself. And the best way to protect myself from you ever hurting me was for me to find a way to check out. So in my mind was this constant debate and this battle of, oh my God, but what if happens? What if it doesn't work? What if I get divorced again? Oh my God, but what about Selena? I don't want to do to her what I did to the kids and blah, blah. It was constantly ruminating. And I'll never forget, we were laying in bed and I like rolled away from you. And then I started visualizing my life without you. And I was like, no, I don't want that. No, hang on a second. And it's not because I need her. No, because this human being is the human being that unlocks all of like the chambers in my heart that I can't unlock within myself, let alone the fact that she's the fucking most incredible woman on planet Earth. And then I rolled back over to you. Do you remember that night? Yeah. I don't even know if you knew that was happening, or did I tell you?
You told me after.
I told you after. And I was like, no, I want you. And this is the craziest thing, if I can honestly say something. I now realize that I was afraid to fully accept you, even after being married. I'm just going to say this, as my wife, as the love of my life. Even though my heart knew you were the love of my life, my mind didn't want to. Oh boy. Because I was afraid it would all end one day. That's why I have so much passion for this work and for this podcast and for what me and you are creating. Like, I just hope people could see in our vulnerability and authenticity, I hope it opens up the conversations that their heart deeply wants to have.
And I feel like, yeah, I want to share from my side, even though we weren't going to have this conversation now, but we're having it now. So I'm going to share anyway. It's all this time I had been pointing my finger at Danny, like, your heart's not open. It's your heart. It's your childhood. It's your mom and dad shit. It felt very easy for me to do that. Like, what do you mean? I want to love you. I want to love you. You keep running away. I'm here. And the other day I had one of the most powerful fucking moments I've had of my whole life when I realized, oh shit, it's me too. Like, I've been creating so many boundaries and walls around my own heart because the truth is, I'm scared too. I'm so scared to actually drop my boundaries and let you in fully because the same, like, what if it goes away? And the moment I realized that it was like, oh my God, I was an energetic match for exactly what he was doing. I felt this sense of like power come back into me because I was like, wow, now this is a choice.
That's right. Yeah.
Now this is a choice. Now I see it.
Conscious choice.
Yeah. Now I see it. That like I've been creating boundaries around my own heart. It's time to drop the fucking boundaries. Because how am I ever going to be in love? How am I ever going to actually experience true love if I'm constantly guarding myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is like where we feel like we give 90% of ourselves to our partner, maybe like 85, 90, or maybe it's 99, but there's that like 1%, 5% still that you hold it back.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I'm going to keep this card close to my chest because if I show them this one, that's going to be like so fucking vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, our little girls, our little boys, they're terrified of that. They're like, no, we have to stay safe. We have to protect ourselves because like once upon a time, mom or dad or whoever hurt us. We were hurt by loving someone so vulnerably. So like we must not do that. And I had this moment where I was lying on the floor and my little girl was begging me, no, Jen, don't let the boundaries go. Don't let the boundaries go. Please don't let the boundaries go. That's like so unsafe. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do. And then I was like, my woman was online like, it's time to let it go. Like, it's time to let go. You're safe. I've got you. But seriously, like, it's time to let that go. And the love and the fucking joy I have experienced in the past 2 weeks, I've never, hand on heart, I've never experienced in my life.
I can say the same. Our life right now feels like
heaven on fucking earth.
Heaven on earth. Everything. Every part of our life. It's as if no fear exists. It's as if we can wave a magic wand and have whatever we want in life. It's not even as if, it just is that way. And that, listen, that is why this work is so important, because I'm sitting here also reflecting on the fact that both you and I have been in relationships in the past where we didn't even feel safe. You see, this is the outcome, guys. This is the outcome. But we've been at this for 3-4 years now, right? Really discovering how safe we are with each other. Yeah. And the safer we are and the more vulnerable we get and the more that we drop into our hearts, the more that it led us onto this path of where we are today. So if you're sitting out there going, oh my God, I want to do that, but I'm with someone that I can't even share my truth with them. That was me for 13 years. Like if I say what I really want to say, it's going to start World War fucking II. We're going to be fighting for 4 or 5 days. World War III. Sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Like that was me. I never felt safe because I knew if I turned my head the wrong way, my dick was going to get chopped off.
No.
Literally. Well, you know it's true. Like you know what I had to deal with. And even that, guys, that's not making anyone wrong. It's the wounded part. It's the wounded little boy or wounded little girl that lives inside of that person. And you have to make a decision that the number one priority of your life is healing the wounded part of you. Point blank, end the story.
And I want to bring it back to the third entity, because as you were speaking, I had this like visual, and my brain works in like numbers and pictures and shapes and stuff. So I'm just going to say it how it is. And those of you who think like me will get it. Is like, if I'm 1 and Danny's 1 and 1 + 1 = 2, what we tend to do, and 1 + 1 = 2 is the third entity, right? What we tend to do in relationship is we stay as the 1 and we're like, their number needs to change the third number, right? I need him to become a 2 so that we can become a 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of actually understanding, no, honey, like all the power to change what this could be, it lives in you.
Yeah.
It lives in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you want the third entity, if you want the equation, the formula to fucking change yourself.
That's right. That's right.
And use what's present in your environment as the perfect fucking mirror to show you exactly where you need to work. Anything that pisses you off, that triggers you, that makes you switch, that makes you angry, that makes you uncomfortable. Perfect.
That's it.
That's it. Fucking it.
That's right. That's right. It has nothing to do with them. Everything to do with you. You know, we work with this couple. I won't name their names, but they live in Europe. He cheated on her. They chose to stick together. Obviously, she went through a lot of hurt. You know, they join the inner circle. They come to the intensives. They've been doing the meditation. They've been doing everything that we, kind of guide them to do. And like, finally they had this moment of like, right? We witnessed it. It was really beautiful. And it was like, and we saw the little boy and little girl like, okay, this is what I choose. Even though the cheating happened, this is what I choose. Yeah. And yeah, I got a message just 2 days ago from her where it was like, we're back here again.
Yeah.
Right? We're back here again. Like, how do we get back here? Right? How do we get back to connection? And like, my advice to her, because I finally felt ready to tell her, there's such wounding with men in her life that of course she attracted a man to do what he did. That's not making it right or wrong or anything. It's just the way these things. It's just the way these things happen, right? Because it's the greatest teacher. Like, think about it. Like, how you're going to get to this point is to be able to forgive and love the man that hurt you the most, if you feel that you're ready for that journey and that he can hold you in that journey. So then what I finally told her yesterday was, I said, I'm going to challenge you with something. I said, I think it's time for you to realize, because I know him, he's like a sweetheart. You know, he's a sweetheart, the guy, right? I said, I'm gonna take this opportunity and just like challenge her. Let's see what happens. I said, I'm going to challenge you that whenever this happens, I want you to go all in on loving him regardless. Because the truth is if you keep waiting for him to do something, you're going to be waiting forever. And that's not what your soul attracted. Your soul attracted the perfect partner in his sweetness and kindness and his willingness to do the work, right? To allow you the safety to confront your mistrust in men, to drop out of the mind and into the heart and choose, listen carefully, in these moments to say, this is the scariest shit of all, and I do not want to do this, but I'm just going to love him. I'm going to love him even though it doesn't feel safe to love him. And I'm just going to let go, and I'm going to surrender, and and when you do that, it's because you feel like you have a partner that you can do that with. If you feel like you don't have a partner that you can do that with, then that is actually your deepest fear. It's where you are out of your power because you're afraid to be alone. You're afraid of being in your essence. You're afraid of being in your heart. And as a result, you stay in something that you already know is not meant for you. You're smirking again.
Preach, honey.
It's just coming out, babe. It's just what happens. Drop me a little note on YouTube if you were feeling that before she interrupted me, by the way, with her smirking.
Did I say anything?
No, you didn't say, but you're looking at me. Imagine you're in flow, like you're like, la, la, la. And she's like, anyways.
You know, I want to add to that and maybe like give a different spin of a personal challenge of mine at the moment. My literal mantra at the moment is, can I keep on keeping my heart open? Because that is the scariest shit you'll ever do. That even when your partner reacts a certain way, even when something is happening externally to you, even when you tell me that you already went to Mexico City with another girl.
Oh, shit. Did you just say that right now?
Yeah. Even when, can you keep on keeping your heart open? No, I'm being absolutely dead serious. Because that's essentially what you challenged her to. It's not so much like, can you love him anyway? It's like, can you stay in love?
Right.
And it's not for him. It's for you. Because staying in love, keeping your heart open, and by the way, this is really important. Staying in love doesn't mean like staying mushy. Staying in love means, can I stay in love with an open heart and feel grief and feel pain? And the reason I bring up Mexico City, so Danny and I were going to book a trip to Mexico City.
We're booking a trip.
We've booked a trip to Mexico City.
Yeah. Hold on real fast. So after, when we do an Awaken.
Yeah.
We've got Awaken in Anaheim next week.
Yeah.
After Awaken, we because it's hard work for like 3 days. We go all in on helping people.
It's a lot of energy.
It's a lot of energy. And then we go on like a little vacation. So we're going to like this dope spot in Mexico for like 7 days. And then on the flight back, we're going to stop in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can tell.
So I tell Danny, like, we have to fly through Mexico City anyway to get back to Austin. Why don't we stop and like experience Mexico City? And Danny's face starts contorting, doing what it's twitching. I'm like, oh God. And he's like, I just want to let you know that that I've already been to Mexico City with another woman.
It was the one before her, basically.
The one before me.
Yeah.
That one. And yeah, that one. And you wanted me to pull up the hotel list so that you could show me what hotel you had stayed in with her.
No, I did not. No. I was trying to avoid that hotel.
Yeah, as in tell me which one it was so that I didn't book that one for us.
Of course.
Right. Okay, all jokes aside. And in that moment, I realized like what I normally would have done, and I've done my whole fucking life, is like, I'm like a tough guy, tough gal. Like nothing bothers me. Like tell me whatever you want. Like it's not going to bother me because like I'm tough. And in that moment, I normally would have been like, yeah, whatever. Like you stayed there with another girl. Like it's fine. We won't stay there. And like not even let it like fucking touch me.
Why not?
Because if I actually felt what it felt like for you to be with another woman, like that would actually hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay in contraction and keep my heart closed and I'm going to be tough. But because right now I'm working on keeping my heart open, I allowed that to actually like sting me. It's like, can I keep my heart open and experience that actually like hurts my heart to think about you like doing something that we're going to do with another woman. And not in like a jealous, catty way, but in like I love you so much that actually hurts my heart. And that was such a different experience for me to stay in openness and not contraction whilst you told me that thing. And that actually allowed me to, well, this is again a conversation for another day, but it allowed something completely different to move through me than what would have done if I had just stayed in contraction. And that's what you challenged her to.
Mm-hmm.
Can we live our life with an open heart, a genuinely open heart, even though it fucking scares our little girl and little boy so much? Can we stay open and experience what life has to offer with that openness? Not the mushy, oh, I'm going to keep my heart open so I can be mushy and loving and soft and kind. No, like, so I can experience like fierce boundaries and fierce love and intense sadness and grief and depth and all the things with an open vessel.
Because what happens when you allow yourself to do that?
What happens?
You grow.
Or you actually experience life.
That's right. And that's what most of us are avoiding. Like, look at the trees and look at the seasons. There's winter, spring, summer, fall. There's the beginning, the end. There's the birth, there's the life, there's the death. What we avoid when we keep our hearts closed is the natural cycle of life. And that is a powerful life. A powerful life is life and then death, and then rebirth, and then dying. And when you are in a constant state of keeping yourself safe, what you're actually doing is you are in resistance towards the beauty and the wonder of life.
And as a consequence, what you experience is the mundane. It's quite literally, I'm not going to risk opening my heart in case I get hurt too bad. But on the polar opposite end, like, because life exists in polarity, on the polar opposite end is the intense joy, the intense beauty, the intense love. So it's like, instead, I'll just experience like a mid-level range of that and a mid-level range of this.
Well, I'll take it even a step deeper.
Yeah.
What happens is when you are constantly in the energy of experiencing the mundane and you're in resistance, guess what you attract more of?
That.
Exactly that. That's why your life won't change.
But to end this episode, what I realized yesterday is the biggest fuckery of the whole thing is that we are taught that it's safer to live in fear because it's safer for me to like keep closed and keep resistance because in case I get hurt. So as you said, we attract more fear, aversion, resistance. When we live in love with an open heart, even though we think that that's scary, that's actually the safest place to live. Because when you live with an open heart, you live in love. And love only attracts more love. So that in that phase, there's nothing to even fear.
Mm-mm.
Like fear actually starts to not exist.
That's right.
In your reality.
That's right.
So I feel like to end this episode, our challenge for you is, even when it feels scary, even when it feels like you can't, even when it feels like you're in such resistance, like, can you find a way to keep on keeping your heart open?
By the way, I want to acknowledge you for something. I don't know if you guys caught on to this, but you know, in season 1, like, you were averse to like opening the conversation, and you just like not only opened it, but you took it upon yourself to like close it. Like, I want you to notice that, like, your leadership is starting to come online. I can't wait. By the way, leave a comment if you can't wait for Jen to host Awaken Her Highest Self.
Oh my God.
For women only. Well, that would be pretty dope if like I did a Awaken His Highest Self as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, we hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. And then we're going to do like a Finding the One
couples retreat. Yeah. We didn't do questions.
Let's do a question.
Okay, let's do questions. Here we go. First question. I'm doing deep inner work, but I'm still attracting misaligned men. What's my blind spot?
I would say that takes me back to this notion that people are doing the deep work, but I don't think they really understand what deep work actually is. Um, Deep work is spiritual. Deep work transcends the physical plane and takes you into the spiritual world. That is the only work that actually changes lives. And so I say this because I could think of thousands of people that have, like, for example, said they've done the deep work, and then they come to awaken, and I'm like, oh, you haven't even, like, started. You haven't even begun. So my challenge to you, people go crazy when I say stuff like this, but I'm just gonna say the truth. If you haven't been, yeah, if you haven't been to awaken, I don't think your deep work has really began. And if you haven't sat with ayahuasca, I don't think your deep work has really began. And if you haven't done a series of, at least started with microdosing, but at least a series of intentional ceremonies within yourself, I don't think your deep work has really begun. And the reason why I say that, to answer your question, is because when you actually do the deep work, it is impossible. It's literally impossible for you to attract misaligned men, because nothing can be attracted into your life that is in misalignment with the energy in which you vibrate at.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was like, even the sentence of "I keep attracting misaligned men," that sentence is
That
like,
says it all.
it doesn't, no, but it doesn't exist in reality, because there is actually no possible way to attract something that's misaligned to you.
Yeah.
That's the blind spot. The blind spot is not taking ownership for the fact that, like, the energy that you're in is attracting perfectly to you
That's right.
what you are
You
getting.
are the creator based off of your energy. And I feel like I need to say this. Like, the reason why I say, if you haven't been to awaken, you haven't done the deep work. And it's so interesting that all of this happened because our brother here mentioned bridge. We have our friends Preston and Alexi who do this thing called bridge. That is deep work. But then also, they are the real deal. The amount of people that are out there right now that are big on Instagram or whatever the case may be, that are offering these events that is all like knowledge base, where you, oh yeah, take notes, right? And doesn't ever penetrate this. That's all that's out there right now. And so I unfortunately feel like people are being misguided, quite frankly. And why I say, if you haven't been to awaken, if you haven't sat with ayahuasca, if you haven't done the deep work, is because those are the only two things that I have experienced that actually takes you where I know your soul actually wants to go, to experience the unraveling of all of the fear within you that is the very thing that is attracting the misalignment.
Do you remember there was a phase of life where we would go into a store and, like, the cashier, do you call it a cashier? Like
Yeah, cashier.
yeah, would be like so miserable, and we would both walk out and look at each other and be like,
They got to get to awaken.
yeah.
Well, it's true. It's like even our friend, our former nanny, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we love her so much, and she's experiencing different dating things and issues with dating, and I'm like,
Come to awaken.
you just got to come to awaken. You just,
I'm gonna force her there in November.
yeah, I'm just gonna, like, we'll kidnap her and we'll sit her there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she'll, oh, I get it. And I go, okay, then here's the next step.
Yeah.
And the next step. And then, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, guys. It's like, if you have blind spots, consider that you can't see what you can't see, and consider that there's a way to see the unseen. And like, this is a genuine invitation from both of us, like, not a come to awaken because like it's what we do. It's like a genuine invitation from our heart of like, we have a deep, deep desire to help you remember you.
That's it.
I don't want to fucking teach you anything. I just want you to remember you like I'm starting to remember me. That's literally it. And like, we cracked a code.
We did.
We cracked a code. You cracked a code.
No, we did it.
We've created something magical, which is like, this is a genuine invitation from our heart of like, come to awaken. We're going to be here in Austin in November. Come and experience and start to like uncover your blind spots.
Yeah, I feel like really emotional because it's like, if you've been there, you know. And it's like, it's also like an honor to like sit here and know that we have cracked the code. We have created something that genuinely changes human life at the deepest parts of human life. And it's just like, it's like, I have like reverence for that, you know? Yeah. Okay.
I think that's it.
Dang, check you out leading this thing. I love it. I love it. If you love what we're doing, share it with your family members and friends. Make sure that you subscribe. Can we tell you, we will end with this. I want to tell you our secret, like what we actually want to do. Should we tell them? What we want this to become.
I already know this is going to happen because I've seen it in a vision, but tell them.
So we want this to become eventually like a dating show, but like a real dating show, a dating show that brings people together. You know, not like all these dating shows are cool, but they don't ever deal with the actual issue, the unconscious shit. And that's what we want to create. So when you watch and you listen and you subscribe, it helps that to become a reality. And then we'll create the dating app. That'll be sick.
Dating show, dating app.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
To help people find real love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See you next week.
Yeah. We'll see you on next week's episode of Finding the One.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.